About a year ago, we built out about a 5,000 square foot center in the business school, and because we're housed right in the loop, we couldn't make it a full incubator. In other words, students couldn't permanently hang out there, so we kind of call it our virtual incubator because we're using it for classes as well as students to come and hang out. The important part is all my predecessors just had an office in the management department, which is what we're housed under. So it's nice that we now have our own space. Students are starting to show up. When I go to classes, I'm getting at least 20% of the people that now have heard of the center, versus before it was about 2 or 3 because we were just a program, not a physical space. So we're thrilled to have this as our home. Oh, there we go. So bottom line, there was a survey done a while ago of millennials that said about 66% want to start their own businesses and 37% would like to work for themselves. We kind of did a similar poll of our undergraduates at DePaul and found these stats tracking pretty well. So we feel it's our prerogative to get entrepreneurship spread across campus. So probably unlike what you heard from Kellogg and Booth earlier, where 90% are going into consulting, DePaul's got a different constituents of students. 40% of our undergrads are first generation college, 80% of them are from Chicago, and 80% of them stay here. So I don't necessarily have the similar problems that some of the bigger schools in Chicago have. So we're very street smart, roll your sleeves up kids, and I want to give them those same opportunities that maybe they deserve right in our own backyard. So a lot of our programs are starting to focus more on doing good and doing well in Chicago. And as I was talking about with Bruce earlier, a lot of that also involves community outreach for our students, which really is in the DNA of what they're doing in the first place. So we're trying to make entrepreneurship relevant across campus, including music school, theater school. I had some theater students in my business plan development course I taught last quarter. They were all seniors, and of course all the business majors that were seniors had one foot out the door, so they could care less about the class. The theater majors loved it. So there's a whole new energy level there. And I got an email from one of the students after the class. She said it was great, and when she opens her own theater someday, I will have a ticket in the front row. So it kind of made you feel good that maybe we're making a difference outside the business school. I wish we reported up to the provost's office, as we were talking earlier. Unfortunately, we're stuck in the management department. I think for a lot of us that's a problem because we get siloed as the business guys, you money greedy people over there. And some of the schools, it's not, you know, necessarily a business school discipline. We really want that skill set across the university. So we were founded in '03. It's, the center is focused primarily to students and alumni, but we also do outreach, as I mentioned, and we try to mirror our academic programs and our financial learning. We have our president changing hands in about a week, so we'll have the first non-clergy, since we are the U.S.'s largest Catholic university. A lot of people think it's the people over in South Bend, but DePaul, we've got about 23,000 students, so I think that beats Notre Dame by a few. This thing's not clicking like it's I hoped. Some of our programs, we have startup workshops every month that kind of do the block and tackle basics. We had a student idea expo, which our kids launched. This was their idea. Basically, we had 20 teams. Apply, stick your idea on a poster, throw it up around the center. People come into the center and they vote on your idea. At the end of the day, we pick up the ballot boxes. Whoever got the most fake money ended up getting scholarship dollars for that next quarter. The idea there being, get your idea out there, be vulnerable, get good feedback or negative feedback, and then if you want to take it to the next level, we'll start working you through business plan competitions. Okay. The other thing we did is we had our pitch competition. We didn't have it this last year because my job was vacant, so we now decided to change the dialogue. We called it the purpose pitch. Our DePaul kids are talking a little different language. We didn't want it to be a Shark Tank thing about making money, but what's your purpose for your business? What gets you out of bed in the morning? What's the calling of business? It's not social enterprise. It's more, I'd like to do business, but I'd really like to do well. And I'd like to do good. And so we had 128 teams applied. You had to have a DePaul connection somewhere, staff, faculty, student. We narrowed that down to 10 who came in and did a video pitch, and then we narrowed it down to 4. And then those 4 pitched at 1871. in front of alumni, faculty, and 1871 members. So we had about 300 people there that night. We told the judges to pick the winner based on the cause that they were supporting. And so the winners were 2 women, 1 MBA, and another. They were post-revenue, and they have kits that go home to parents for autistic children. So games, books, things aimed at the autistic community. And they've got some licenses with some of the schools around the Chicago area. They've done a really great job. Another program we're proud of is our startup internship program. That's the Coleman Center pays our students to go work as an intern in a startup, because obviously startups, not a lot of them have money. So we placed 20 students this summer in startup companies to get a feel for what it's like working for a startup. We ran this program last year. I interviewed the students as they came back. I thought it was going to all be sunshine and blue skies. One student came in and said, I now know I could never be an entrepreneur. Because they saw the founder come in. He'd lost his biggest customer that morning, and he was going through physical trauma, sweating and profusely, and stayed up all night. And they said, man, if that's what being an entrepreneur is all about, no thank you. So it's not quite the outcome I had hoped for, but at least they found out about this during college instead of mortgaging their house 10 years later. So that was a really popular program for us. Keep hitting the clicker, but okay. We have kind of some other big, an entrepreneurship symposium every year at 1871. We had Jeff Hoffman, founder of Priceline.com. If anybody's looking for a really great speaker, this guy is out there professing entrepreneurship all over the place. I heard him at our entrepreneurship conference last year. He started the talk with, if you want to make the world a better place, unleash an army of entrepreneurs. They're solving problems for mankind, for business, for profit, for everything. He really did a great job. That's not him, that's actually Bo Burlingham, who's an editor of Brink Magazine. Bo's a good friend of mine, wrote Small Giants, but he came in and did a workshop as well. I really apologize, this is not, I'm going to just scroll through with this thing. We do have an international program. We just welcomed a group from Shanghai, China that came in, and we're sending our student teams over there next summer. We're hoping to launch an accelerator next summer of 2018, and we're also launching currently a Demon Fund similar to Irish Angels or Hyde Park Angels for our help with our DePaul startups. Organizationally, we've got an advisory board. We're building out. I started with 3 members a year ago. That had dwindled. We've got a strong mentors program now with 40 mentors that we vetted, and building that up to 50. We've got about 35 students matched with those mentors. And then we've got a campus advisory team. These are faculty primarily outside the business school that are starting to teach entrepreneurship in their classes. We are also a chapter of CEO and Fellows program that's founded by the Coleman Foundation. I'm not sure if everybody's taking advantage of that, but if not, this is a stipend to faculty to teach entrepreneurship outside the business college. The Coleman Foundation is based here, and they're investing in about 19 different campuses across the U.S. Our ecosystem. So I am operating on the if it's already built, don't build it mode. So we're right in the heart of what arguably the second or third largest, best economy in the U.S. for business. And so we're leveraging the heck out of 1871. So that's kind of why I don't have an incubator on campus, because we're 3 L stops away from the #1 incubator in the world. So we were late to the party. We just joined a year ago, but it's turned out to be a phenomenal opportunity for our students. And I'm over there with the booth in Kellogg and IIT and UIC and everybody else on Fridays, usually coming up with ideas for our Campus 1871. Great program. We sent 20 students over to 1871. They mixed the teams up with all the other member universities on Friday night. They fed the kids. They stayed at a hotel connected to the merchandise mart, fed them pizza till 3 or 4 in the morning, and by Sunday, the 15 different teams were pitching businesses. And the energy level was incredible. I went over there on Saturday, and I was peeling people off the ceiling. It was so great. So it was a really excellent experience. And 1871 puts that on every year for the member universities, which is great. Again, because we have such a vibrant ecosystem here, we're partnering with a lot of the incubators that are already in place. 2112, has anybody heard of that? Some of the Chicago people. So that's a music incubator, and because we have a strong theater and music school, we're the first university to join 2112, and we just signed a contract with them this week. So that's an example of putting the flagpole out in a discipline where maybe people wouldn't think entrepreneurship, but I think if you just put that stake in the ground there, then everything in between is open game for determining that further. We ran a coding academy with Blue 1647 at DePaul this last semester. We've been in talks with M-Hub to join them for the makerspace. So I think we've got all three legs of the stool. If we've got 1871, 2112, M-Hub, and Blue 1647 for our students. We've been doing some work in the high schools through Future Founders and Incubator EDU. We kind of vet and send our kids over to some of the rest of the co-working spaces. And our national associations. One paid advertisement is IIT and DePaul won the GCEC conference for next fall. So it'll be here in Chicago. That's the Global Consortium of Entrepreneurship Centers. So for any of your incubators wanting to connect with the other university things going on nationwide, it's in Halifax this year in the fall, and the weekend of October 20th, 2018, it will be here. So I'll be reaching out certainly to the Illinois schools to have a collaborative effort, help us with content and things like that. So we're really excited about that next year. And then academically, DePaul has been ranked in the top 25, both undergrad and MBA. It's ever since the Princeton rankings came out. I'll be honest with you, we're sliding down our rankings because the more money is now pouring into entrepreneurship all over the country and the state, which is great news. I think we got entrepreneurship. So. That is I went over 5 minutes, but this is how we tie it all together. I've kind of wondered, what are all these programs and what do they mean? But we start with our Idea Expo, which hopefully develops into a business plan, a pitch competition, feeding an accelerator, launching a business, and getting invested on the back end. And then we have the academic support up top and the ecosystem support down below. And thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, I was speeding.